A grand jury in Chicago has indicted Empire actor Jussie Smollett on 16 felony counts. The openly gay actor is accused of staging a homophobic and racist attack on himself in January.
Well, according to the indictment, Smollett allegedly paid two brothers to use racial slurs and beat him. The men have since told police that they regret their involvement in the case. Smollett denies any wrongdoing. And Gloria Schmidt is the attorney for the two brothers involved in the alleged crime, and she joins us now. Thank you so much for joining us. So listen, we now have Jussie Smollett being indicted, 16 counts. What was the reaction from your clients when they heard about this?
You know, what they are really focused on right now, and what I can tell you about their reaction, is that they feel tremendously regretful for their role in this, in their involvement in this situation. And, you know, all the other peripherals are outside of their main focus right now, which is to, you know, pick up the pieces of what this has done to their lives, and to try to make this something positive. You know, try to make something positive for them and have a positive impact on the community.
Are they facing any charges at all?
They're not, no.
So, according to the Chicago police, the Osundairo brothers told investigators that Jussie Smollett paid them for the alleged attack. Can you walk us through the role that they say they played in this attack and how it played out?
Well, what I can tell you is primarily that this entire thing started because they put their trust in the wrong person. Everyone wants to know, well, at what time did they get detained? Where was it? At Customs, O'Hare? Listen, this started way before that. You have someone here who is a celebrity type, someone who is in a position of trust, someone who works with these people, someone who's able to help their careers if he so wants to, and then he betrays them. So the impact that this has had, not only on them, but on minority populations, that weighs very heavily on them.
Why do you say he betrayed them? It wasn't, you know, from what we're getting, that they agreed to participate in this in this scheme. So how did he betray them?
That's a great question, and I'll tell you. The main focus on this is that they felt that their friend, someone who had, you know, helped them with getting some connections, would not put them in a situation where they're now being labeled as someone who would commit a hate crime. Because I can tell you with confidence, they did not commit a hate crime. They also did not know that their loyalty to him would be betrayed. And now they find themselves in this situation where they're tremendously regretful.
But didn't they sort of betray him? I mean, aren't they the reason why police know that this was an alleged fraudulent scheme, sort of?
Well, that goes to the heart of the matter as to what were their intentions and ultimately what was Mr. Smollett's intentions. Those specific details I'm not at liberty to discuss right now, and I think that my clients will be the best apted to speak to their intentions. But what I can tell you right now is that they fully cooperated with the police. They're still cooperating with the police. They have not sought out any kind of immunity or any kind of plea deals. That is not on the table. They're not interested in that. They just wanted to come out and cooperate and tell the truth.
Did Jussie Smollett ask them to attack him and to essentially beat him up for a particular purpose that is not very clear to the public right now as to why he would have done that? And did they agree to do it?
Well, I don't want to speak for Mr. Smollett because I'm not his attorney. But I'm asking,
did they tell you that he said to us, beat me up because I want to accomplish this?
What I can tell you is part of the evidence that was discovered from the police, and let me tell you, they had put hundreds of hours, thousands of hours into verifying my client's testimony. And at the end of the day, it was thanks to that cooperation that the trajectory of their investigation switched. Remember, my clients were persons of interest at the start. Then they became suspects. They were arrested. Then they went home. And obviously that shift is because of the evidence that came to light, and it was because this was something that was at Mr. Smollett's direction. So I can't speak for Mr. Smollett, but obviously that is the key difference in making the investigation shift towards Mr. Smollett.
To clarify, we were talking about this before we sort of went to air. Your clients have been called brothers. They've been called Nigerian brothers. We know that they went to Nigeria afterwards. Are they Americans?
They are Americans. They were born and raised in Chicago. They actually are very offended when the media says the Nigerian brothers. They're American. They were born here. They were raised here. So I'm very glad that you brought that up.
And did they have a relationship with Jussie Smollett? Was one of them his trainer, or we're getting information about perhaps they had been planning to train him for a music video?
Yes, yes. So my clients knew him. They met at different times, and that's something that I can let the brothers get into in more detail at a later date. But they had known him. They did work out with him. When you see the brothers, I mean, they are very muscular. They're specimens. They're amazing trainers. I know that Abel is a boxer, an amazing boxer. So they did train, and they did have a friendship. And that's not something that was previously glamorized or told about in the media, because they were just friends and they trained.
Are they going to testify against Jussie Smollett?
I'm not certain on that, because it's not my show, it's not my investigation. They did appear at the grand jury, and they did, answer the grand jury's questions, and that has been the extent of their involvement in this legal process.
All right, well, Gloria, thank you so much for coming by and clarifying.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you for having me.